Loading. What's up, guys? I'm gonna leave the door open. Let me let it air out a little bit. I was just killing some roads real quick, and I was talking to you guys at the same time. However, when I came over here, it's little kids. I mean, I can't be mad at little kids, but you know, I was once a little kid, but at the same time, it's like I'm over here trying to film a video. Hold on. Let me let them have their fun. Yeah, this is where I was gonna take my little thumbnail. I was probably gonna try to look for something right here by that little graffiti area in the trees. Sorry guys, I tried to switch it up for y'all, but I gotta revert back to my regular spot because I'm little kids, boy. You can't knock them, they just being little kids, but sheesh, they were loud, messing up my audio. And I don't got much time, so I gotta go back to the typical location, which is not that far from where I was at before. It's actually the same little area, just like downstairs, whatever. But anyway, seen some things online, so this video is gonna be a little different. I tried to make it like a little in-car vlog. I was using my little Chick-fil-A, make a little mukbang, bang, whatever the hell you wanna call it, but failed. Anyway, yeah, so basically, I made this video. This video is like a random video because I feel like I want to address some things for you guys, with you guys. Online, on Instagram, I've been noticing there's been a lot of posts lately, like a lot of like BMW posts. Like it seems like BMWs have become the new Mustangs, and I wanted to talk about that as far as like sliding out and losing control, whatever. So. Seeing this one post, this one comment like, oh, you know, you young guys, you got buy BMWs like this, and you know, you guys don't really know how to drive, or you call yourself fast guys, whatever the case may be. And I agree with that. You know, I agree with that, and I'm going to explain to you why I agree with that. Now, I'm about 25 years old, so I feel like when they target that group, they talk about me as well. Not all guys are, you know, considered BMW crash dummies, whatever you want to call it. But what I will say is, I feel like personally, I kind of once was one of those kind of people. Just luckily never like really like killed myself or anybody. And I'll explain to you right now. This car, obviously, if you have not noticed, is set up in a rear-wheel drive platform. It's a little bit harder to really crash those all-wheel drive ones or lose control on the all-wheel drive ones. I've seen it happen, but it's not as easy. And the 28s is not as easy as well. But your 35 miles with the M55 engine and the S55 that comes in M3 and M4. Sorry if I'm rushing, I just don't think I have enough time because of the sun is going down. But the number one thing I would have to say is the easy access to tuning. Now, this day and age, we have boot mode, we have MHD, we even have RK, a bunch of different things, DME tuning, whatever the case may be. And pretty much with boot mode and MHD being like, I guess, the top of the easily accessible ones, you can essentially stay at home in your room, in your house, whatever, research tons of boot mode things, get tons of marketing, good, positive marketing, because, you know, it is an effective tune platform, whatever the case may be. Even JB4, I forgot about you guys. Super easy. You only pay about 600 bucks. And you can unlock like so much more horsepower, and not just horsepower and torque like peak, but change the, I guess what they call under the curve, like the meat of the, I guess they call it the delta or something like that. I have to do more research before I spit straight game to you guys because I'm not 100% sure the tuning game. But essentially, you change the curve, you change the torque curve, you change the horsepower curve, everything gets completely changed. Now, the reason why I say that's a big issue is because these guys are jumping in these cars, and it doesn't matter, you know, they get them from the dealership, like an option like mine, 435s, all the non-M cars are gonna come with all-season run flats. And that's just a big no-no right there when you're trying to go for performance. And to the M cars, they come with the Pilot Super Sports, which those are decent tires. However, like I said, no one checks the tread depth. No one goes in. You just buy the car, you're super happy, and then you see a couple videos or you get gapped by something on the highway and you go, I need some more power. You know, tunes are marketed like a motherfucker. Like boot mode marketed like crazy. Like it's the biggest thing out there as far as tuning and MHD and stuff like that. As far as car customization, because one is so easy. You know, it's essentially software. So you don't really need to get up under the car and be mechanically savvy or spending tons of money. You can just go ahead and plug it up into the computer, and this is a digital age. Just like look at Forza, for instance. Forza is like a video game. It's digital. Tuning your car is like digital. So at the end of the day, we adapt to a little bit better. Us younger generation, banks are throwing out the bait. They're just throwing out money, and you know, and a lot of guys are just taking it as bait. You know, really cheap money. They're just lending to anybody. you're able to secure a car like this, especially with depreciation. You know, typically the old generation, a lot of these cars that were out, majority of them had like, you know, like naturally aspirated cars. This turbocharging everything game has gone like, it's like completely different. So the reason why I say that is because in order to, let's say you have a G37 or a Q50 or whatever the case may be, something naturally aspirated, and you want more power, you have to upgrade serious parts. You can't just really go in there for an engine tune and you can get like tons of horsepower. I know they have like up rev, but that's about like what, like 15 horsepower tops or something like that. Really negligible feeling. Now these cars right here, they come with turbos, so essentially what the tune does is just turns up the boost a little bit, gives a little more fuel and adjusts the timing, basics, and you got more power. Now 400 horsepower to the rear wheels, and let's say you're running the stock 255s, your tires are most likely bald or like half like lower than bald because you're hype, you do burnouts, you do donuts, whatever the case may be. So now you're sending a high horsepower car with shitty tires. You know, they're shitty to begin with on a good day, and now they're half bald, so that's very dangerous. Coupled with the roads out here, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with any of the East Coast roads, whether it be New York, Jersey, Delaware. I'm not sure it's that bad, but Maryland, especially Baltimore, oh my God, these roads are terrible. BMWs do a good job at making people think they know how to drive very well, i.e. if you put it in Sport Plus. Sport and Sport Plus is not really different. It's just Sport plus traction control off. It doesn't make it any faster or touchier. Sport and Sport Plus is pretty much the same. Traction control is off, so it will allow the wheels to slip. Now, dynamic stability control is still on, and what BMW does is it's not really intrusive. So what happens is it'll kind of throttle the accelerator, whatever the case may be, for you guys to kind of make it seem like you're doing a lot of work when you're really not. The car is pretty much catching itself. Now, with that being said, that'll give you the idea of, oh wow, I'm not really pushing it to the edge like that. It keeps catching it right at the moment. You know what, I need to turn it fully off, and they turn it fully off, and then kaboom, they realize that they didn't know what they were doing from the jump, but by that time it's too late. Now you couple that with trying to show off, and before I get to that, I'm gonna have to give a shout out to Mod to Fame, Stefan from Mod to Fame, because if it wasn't for him, I feel personally, I don't think he even realized this, but if it wasn't for him, I probably would have been one of them guys, right? Now, let me take you guys for a quick story time. And shout out to my boy JR14, because I went out there with him. They're both really good drivers. JR14 has a page, it's JR14. So check out him. He's doing credible stuff with his Volkswagen GTI track setup. And Mod to Fame, if you guys have not heard of him, definitely check him out. Stefan from Mod to Fame, Eugene, have a whole crew over there. Check them out. They're doing incredible stuff with their Hellcat. So why I say that is because if it wasn't for pretty much those two people, I probably would have ended up being one of those guys. Fast forward or rewind back a little bit, we had all linked up. I met up with JR14, which obviously is my boy, so I've been knew him, but Stefan, I didn't know him. I met him that day, and what happened was he had his Porsche Panamera out, and I'm looking like, yo, Stefan from Mod to Fame, like I watch all his videos, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we on the highway, on the LIE, you know, after we talking, whatever, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna show him that this 435 no slouch, you know, he's running the Hellcat, he's running the Durango, he's running the Panamera. I'm like, yo, this is no slouch, let me get up on him and show him, because you know, you gotta make a name for yourself. You gotta show off, right? You know, you want him to be, oh damn, look at this kid right here. You know, you want to notice you like you notice him, right? Wrong. And the reason why is because what did I end up doing? I ended up showing off. I didn't crash or anything like that, but I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm cutting on some Team No Hezzy shit, right? Now, this is what happened, right? So we got out of the car. I think we went to Brooklyn or something like that. We got out of the car. He's like, yo, man, like, yo, you was crazy on the road. And I got out of the car like, yeah, right? I was crazy. And I was hyped because I'm thinking like, oh, he noticed me. I'm over here almost about to kill myself. And he was just telling me like, yo, listen, man, you upset the chassis on that car too much, man. We thought you was gonna crash. And I thought about it. I'm like, yo, man, maybe he's right. You know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. And my boy Jay's like, yeah, bro, like, you know, you was doing the most out there. And I was trying to do the most because I was trying to be seen. But at the end of the day, I was trying to get the wrong type of attention, if that makes sense. And I think that's what a lot of these guys out here doing. I think these guys out here try to get too much attention at these car meets. You know, they're trying to show off a little bit. They're trying to push these cars to the limit. Now, thankfully, obviously, my car, I equipped it a little bit, you know, better than most people. You know, I got the nice little tire setup and everything. You know, and I dial and do stuff. Like, I have a fail-safe in my head. Like, I know how to drive. I know how to maneuver the car and everything like that. You can check out my M4 video a while back. And I even said the same thing back then. I'll put the link M4 video right there. Excuse me. But I put the M4 video right there or whatever. And I even said it back then, like, I was going around the mountains, going crazy. And the canyons, and that's an area where you gotta respect it. It's an M4. The canyon roads, like that's no little, you know, it's either you hit the mountain or you hit the or you fall off the cliff. And I went out there, my friend, I wouldn't want to kill her at the end of the day. So it's like you know, at the end of the day, you know, you gotta be a little bit more responsible. So what I do, I dialed it back, and I even said in the video, I dialed it back a little bit because sometimes full send, I swear this car's making mad noises. Full send is like not always okay, you know what I mean? Going crazy, team no head, not always okay. Now, those are some examples where I realized that. So like I said, I know how to drive, I know how to maneuver as much to keep me alive and do some pretty crazy shit, right? But when I got around Stefan, I was just like, yo, you know, or Eugene too, shout out him as well. Got out to them, I'm like, yo, listen, man, I gotta make a name for myself. And I'm like, yo, man, like, I didn't get the reaction that I wanted. So, like I said, I took that criticism crazy. Like, I took that constructive criticism wild crazy. And at the time, he didn't even know I had a YouTube or anything like that. You know what I mean? I didn't really tell him anything. So it's like, I took that, and I'm like, yo, you know what? I gotta do things like this now. And then so I calm down a little bit. You know, I get around people and we move, we maneuver, we have more of a chemistry flow now. I don't just upset the chassis in my car. Now, part of that is I'm starting to learn a little bit more about this car, and I'm trying to do a little bit of things as far as track build wise with this vehicle. But back to the point, you guys, you know, be a little responsible out there. Let's tend not to show off as much. These cars make a lot of power, and sometimes we need to just get in them and learn them for a little bit. We rush into the modifications way too much, way too soon, even with suspension mods and stuff like that. Like, we're so quick to do, you know, drop it, slam it, whatever the case may be. And there's nothing wrong for you stance guys out there. Like, shout out to, like, you know, like you got like Nelson Cat and them. You know, they're stance people. They're not really performance racing kind of people. You know, they get busy on the highway a little bit, but that's another story for another time. But anyway, you know, I'm talking about like us guys out here that just wanna like, you know, 435, M3, M4. We wanna lock it up all the time, right? So, you know, just buying parts, and just think your car is getting better and better and better, and think you become less susceptible to a screw up on the highway just because you bought parts and installed them on your car. It's not the way to go about it. Drive your car, learn how it performs, learn the things that you need. This car, suspension is stock. The M Sport suspension 704, look it up. I think it's pretty good. In all honesty, I do notice understeer a little bit. That's why I upgraded the tires to a 255 tire. Might trim it back down to a 245 just because I'm getting a lot of trim lining. And I ordered in a set of M3, M4 control arms with the stiffer bushing, and it cambers the wheel out a little bit, help with steering and turning grip. Those little things right there that I noticed. If you guys check out my Instagram _slowspeed, you see in the story I posted that I also tried to get a limited slip differential for the car, because that's another point that I noticed in this vehicle. We'll talk about that in another video. However, that's backdated till August. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm driving my car and I'm kind of going, you know, pushing my limits, seeing what the car needs to improve on, seeing what I need to improve on, and I'm modifying responsibly. Okay, I should make a shirt, modify responsibly or something like that, because that's what we gotta start doing, guys. Can't let these old heads out there make fools of ourselves, make fools out of us because we can turn up the boost a little bit, you know. And the M3 and M4 guys, I mean it for you more than anything, because you guys got a shit ton of power under your hands, and the LSD is a tricky thing, because the LSD does help you with traction and grip and everything, but it'll help you go faster, and then that breaking point is a son of a, like me, going around the corner, I'll probably catch that one tire fire before anything crazy happens. I gotta really upset the car to lose all control. It's worse for me in saving it wise, because it's hard to save that, because I'm gonna pretty much have one tire fire, and once that other wheel on there or whatever wheel is not getting power, loses grip, it's pretty much done for me. You LSD guys, you guys have a chance to fight it, but what happens is the LSD allows you guys to go so much faster and corner so much better that you probably gonna slip out at a much higher speed, and when that LSD, and when you guys slip out, you're slipping both wheels, you're spinning both. So it'll sweep you right up under your feet, and bam, you're gone. So number one thing I would say to kind of mitigate some of that is don't go too hard, don't try to show off too much, don't let your head get too big, and, you know, ease up off the gas. If you feel yourself losing grip or something like that, ease up off it. Don't just snap off of it, don't just yank the wheel. Kind of like make small, or not small but smooth changes in it, and see if you guys can fix it that way. That's better than just instantly slamming on the brake, slamming on the gas, or just yanking the wheel. Never ends up good, because they going out here, oh man, these guys are crashing. And don't get me wrong, these BMW guys, you do be bugging out here a little bit, but at the same time, we cannot take on the new name of the Mustang. That cannot happen, guys. We can't be the new Mustang guys out here. Sorry, Ryan. Let's show them, man. Let's show them that we can get out here and drive on the roads too, and let's be responsible on the roads as well too. You know, let's not get too crazy, you know, especially when we don't have it under control. If you have it under control, do your own thing, whatever. Don't do it. That's what I learned. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. And yeah, so with that being said, be safe. Mike from So Speed. Peace out.